Hey everybody, how you doing? I hope you're well, you and your loved ones in these very strange and difficult times that we're experiencing now with the virus and with lockdown. And it's that I kind of want to talk to you about today with the road, the story of the disciples on the road to Emmaus from Jerusalem. Luke 24 is where we find it in the Gospels, verses 13 to 35. And it's this story of where Jesus suddenly walks alongside some disciples who were coming back from Jerusalem after the Passover and after Jesus had been crucified. And this is on the morning of the resurrection. Jesus has shown himself to Mary. She's run back to the disciples to tell them what's happened. And these disciples are part of that story, but they are downcast. They're unsure what's going on. These are unsettling times. They don't know what's happening. And Jesus comes along and he says to them, why the long faces, guys? What's wrong? And they use this fantastic line, are you the only person in Jerusalem that doesn't know what's been going on? And boy, Jesus knew what had been going on. But they're kept from seeing him, and that's important. They don't realise it's Jesus. And so they tell him the story of what's been happening, and they recount that Jesus was this prophet. Well, they're right there, but and I think they say something along the lines, he should have been the Messiah. But obviously by being crucified, he's not what they were expecting the Messiah to do and to be. Jesus kind of says to them, guys, you're a little bit thick here. You're a little bit slow is what the Greek means. He says, don't you understand that this had to happen? And he leads them all through Scripture. He takes them right back to the Old Testament and to the prophets, and he unpacks the story of how this is all part of God's plans. And we haven't got time, and we're not going to go down that route of looking at the Scripture and how this story is often used to encourage people to do Bible study and to learn the Scriptures. I want to look at the more immediate thing here and the more comforting thing, I think, for our times, which is that here is Jesus walking alongside these disciples who are downcast and who are confused and who are scared, and they don't even recognize it. And I think that's a message for us and a word for us in our times. Jesus is here. Jesus is with us. Jesus is aware. God the Father is aware what's going on. But we ask that question, don't we? And we think, what good can come from this? They were saying, what good can come from Jesus being crucified? Well, we know what good came from Jesus being crucified. And this was a story that was all about the resurrection and about victory over death. And so today, what I really want to do is little more than just encourage you that God is aware of what's going on with this virus, that God is with us, that God hears our prayers and our concerns, that God is in control. They said to Jesus, they thought God didn't know what had happened. They thought Jesus didn't know what had happened. Nothing was going as they thought it was going to happen. And that may be a bit how we're feeling today with all that's going on. And I just want to pick up on this other thing as well. Jesus he goes to walk on, and I think he genuinely meant it. This wasn't a bit of play acting or anything like that. He would have continued walking. But they say, no, please stay. Come into our house. Come be with us. And I think that's important. Jesus wanted that invitation from them. He wanted to build that community, that friendship, that discipleship. And they asked him to come in. If not, I think he genuinely would have gone on. And so I want to encourage you in these difficult times to invite Jesus in. He knows what's going on and he cares, and he's walking every step with us. And I want to encourage you to invite him to do that with you, to walk every step through these difficult times with you, for you to share your concerns with him, for you to be comforted by him. I've run out of time. I didn't say what I'd meant to say, but hopefully there's enough there to encourage and to comfort you at these difficult times. But stay healthy, stay blessed, and encourage Jesus to come along and to walk every step of these difficult times with you. God bless.